Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Look, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. What we just witnessed with Jose Berrios and the Blue Jays is exactly the kind of messy situation that makes you question everything you thought you knew about a player. And honestly, it's complicated. So Berrios finally broke his silence today. And here's what actually went down. For months, all anyone knew was that he wasn't happy. That's it. No context, no explanation, just this cloud hanging over what should have been a celebration of the Jays' World Series run. Today, he filled in those gaps. And while the explanation makes sense on paper, the execution was a disaster. He was injured on the IL, not going to pitch. His family was back in Puerto Rico. His 3 kids were in school. He had a choice: bring them to Toronto and disrupt their education or go be with them. He chose his family. And you know what? On a human level, I get it. I really do. But this is professional baseball, and the way it happened matters. Here's the thing that stands out. He told some teammates. The Latin guys he was close with knew what was going on, but not everyone. Not the full clubhouse, not the organization the way they needed to know. And that's where this goes from being a personal decision to being a team issue. When you're on a World Series run, communication is everything. Trust is everything. And when a veteran like Berrios, someone who's been the ultimate professional for a decade, handles something like this behind closed doors, it creates cracks. He apologized multiple times today, called it a mistake repeatedly, apologized publicly, apologized to his teammates privately. And yeah, these are the right moves. But let's be real about what we're dealing with here. This isn't some massive scandal, but it's one of those situations where the damage isn't in what happened, it's in how it happened. It's the broken protocol. It's the trust that got chipped away at a crucial moment. John Schneider made an interesting point today that I think is worth digging into. He said both sides could have handled things differently. And he's right. When you're in the middle of a championship push, you're not running a feelings workshop. You're trying to win baseball games. The organization was laser focused on that goal, and maybe in that intensity, some communication lines broke down. But Schneider also said something else that matters. Baseball players will move past this, because that's what they do. Baseball is relentless. It's a sport built on failure and adaptation. Tomorrow there's another problem. Next week there's another controversy. A month from now, something else will overshadow this. That's the nature of a 162-game season, followed by a playoff run. The machine keeps grinding forward. But here's what makes this story really interesting. This is Jose Berrios we're talking about. Maquina the Machine, the Roberto Clemente nominee. A guy who's been one of the most consistent, reliable pitchers in baseball for 10 years straight. You don't build that kind of reputation by accident. And one awkward situation at the end of a season doesn't erase a decade of professionalism. That said, for the first time in a long time, Berrios is walking into a season where he has to prove himself again. Not his talent, we know he can pitch, but his reliability as a teammate, his judgment in crucial moments, his communication. These are new questions for a guy who's never had to answer them before. The reality is that everyone's saying the right things today is step one. The healing happens when they're actually playing baseball together. When Berrios is throwing strikes and competing and being that machine we've all come to expect. When the wins start piling up and the team finds its rhythm, that's when this truly gets left behind. Spring training starts in just over a week. The games begin soon after. And in baseball, nothing heals wounds quite like winning. But this story, it's going to carry into the season. It has to. You can't just flip a switch and pretend it didn't happen. The question isn't whether they move on. They will. The question is what they all learn from it, and whether those lessons make them stronger when it actually counts.